Good day, everyone from the internet. Now, this is your international crypto asset ninja speaking again. Now, today we would like to call this episode Blockchain 101, okay, as a form of research and a record for myself included. Okay, many of us in the retail investment realm are pretty new and in fact considered novice to this area that we call blockchain technologies and cryptocurrencies. So within this new sphere of fintech development, much of the jargon and lingo as described by financial experts, okay, are pretty much foreign to us or sometimes mind boggling to many of us. So today I will attempt to give a simple 101 explanation for what actually is this blockchain that everybody is talking about in the crypto sphere. Okay, so before we dive right in, I would like to make a disclaimer. I am in no way any form of financial advisor. I have no formal training in finances, and whatever shared in this video is purely for entertainment purposes. All right, if you should engage in your own investments, you should understand that it carries risks, and everybody is supposed to do their due diligence and research and take responsibility for their own actions in investments. So now dive right in. Okay, so this is a quick Google search, and then on blockchain, and then this is the simplest form of explanation that I could get from the internet from Investopedia. Okay, it's a good source for those of you who wish to find out more as well. Over here, let's do a quick introduction. So, what exactly is blockchain? So taking a look at the page here, you can see several descriptions and all. So in essence, what exactly is a blockchain? Okay, at a very most basic level, we can consider blockchain as a digital technology where it consists of several chains of blocks that are connected. Okay, and there is a two-word block and a chain, right? So the block, in essence, is talking about digital information arranged in blocks, and these are stored in a public database which we call the chain. All right, together they are called the blockchain. And in terms of storage, this blockchain stores information about transactions, in particular the date and time and the dollar amount that was spent, okay, in whichever transaction that you had. This information is stored according to the information. It's going to be in record within the blockchain, okay, and your purchase is recorded without any form of identification information, okay, by using your own unique digital signature, sort of like what you will use in a username. Okay, this block actually stores what distinguishes you from the other blocks, much like how we distinguish each of one of us. So each block stores a unique code for them called the hash, okay, to tell apart from the other blocks. Okay, hashes are actually cryptographically encoded. Okay, they have special algorithms which the technicalities is only the professionals will be able to understand. Okay, so even though the details of your new transaction may look similar to your earlier purchase, you can still tell because of the unique codes that were used. All right, so maybe let's take some time to listen to this brief explanation, which might give you a little bit more insight into the blockchain technology. Pardon the advertisement. All right, let's pardon the advertisement. Going to be over in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Back to the video.
A blockchain is really a new method of record keeping. It's a ledger. It's a means of keeping transactions, keeping a record of transactions. But rather than doing this through a centralized mechanism, having one entity look after the books, it's a decentralized system, meaning that there are many, many computers that work in concert to produce what's called a distributed ledger, a shared ledger. And they sort of simultaneously and through a consensus algorithm all come to an agreement on what they think the truth should be, what the actual record of transactions should be. So rather than having to rely on one entity and the risks that come with that, the fallibility of the human beings that run it, the corruption, the potential breakdowns, the hacking attacks, and so forth, we have multiple different versions of it being collectively produced. It's this decentralization which is absolutely key to it, and it matters because record keeping is at the heart of how societies go through the process of figuring out how to trust each other to enter into economic exchange. And so it facilitates peer-to-peer exchange. People can now sort of, rather than have to rely on an intermediary, can trade directly with each other, and that's a very important development.
All right, so we have heard from the experts, and now, now that we understand a little bit more about what blockchain really is, okay, so several things actually can happen in order for blockchain to be actually used. Okay, so very first thing, as mentioned over here in this write-up, transaction must occur. So whichever transaction, probably when you make an online purchase, or you make a deal with someone online and then you make a payment. Okay, then the next thing must occur is after the transaction is made, right? The information is sent into the blockchain, and this transaction must be verified before the purchase is successful. So the verification of the information, okay, just like other kind of public records, it will go right straight to someone who is vetting. Okay, but in this case, in a blockchain, there's no physical person doing the verifying, but this is done by a network of computers. So in your transaction that you make, all right, the verification is done by a network of different computers, and is confirmed. Okay, and the date and time and the dollar amount and the participant involved in this transaction is confirmed by this network of computers. And once confirmed, the transaction will be stored in a block, which is the information block. And once verified as accurate, you get a green light for the transaction to go on. And from then on, the signature of this transaction is stored in the blockchain. Okay, likely to join many others in the record. So this block will be given what we call a hash. Again, sort of like a badge of acknowledgement. Okay, like an angel earning his wings. So once all the transaction is verified, it will be given a unique identifying code called the hash, and the block given the hash on the most recent block will be added to the blockchain, and then this will be considered done. Okay, so this is essentially how the transaction go about. Okay, now essentially, okay, to answer the question of some of you may be asking, is blockchain really like private? The answer is that there is a direct answer and not so direct answer. So if you were to look at it, every single computer in the blockchain forms a network. They have their own copy of the blockchain, which means there are like thousands or even tens of thousands of computers around. um there are many copies of this record, okay, in different computers, and each copy is identical. Okay, it's basically spreading the information across the network of computers, which make this information very difficult to manipulate because it's stored across so many computers, right? There isn't a single definitive account of event that can be manipulated. So you can consider that in that case, it is not completely anonymous, okay, because there is still a record found in the computers. Personal information about users are limited to whatever digital signature or username that's left about them. Okay, so now the next question people may ask is blockchain actually secure? Now, in terms of security, many would argue that it's secure, yes, as you clog up most of the information on the blockchain. Um, in terms of this, we would say that the blockchain functions on proof of work system. So this proof of work system, POW system, is in a case. Why proof of work? Because computers must prove that they have already done the work in solving this complex computational math problem, okay, of these transactions. And the computer that solves one of these problems will be eligible to add one more block to the blockchain. Okay, so in this process, the world call this the cryptocurrency world, right? Basically, call this process of solving problems as mining. It's difficult actually, and energy consumption is really high around the world. So to solve such problems, the computers must run compute programs that cost significant amount of energy and power, and consequently money. Okay, so proof of work does not make the attacks impossible. It is still, to some sense, if someone is really rich and have a lot of resources, can employ lots of computers to attempt to hack the blockchain. So it is still possible. So security is not 100%, of course, in a proof of work system, but you will require the someone to have so much resources and computer power that they will control more than 50% of the computing power on the entire blockchain, so as to overwhelm the other participants and conduct a hack. Okay, so that's why sometimes it's called the 51% hack, because once you control 50% and above, you have an opportunity to hijack the other users, all right, and then attempt your hack. So in terms of security, the blockchain will be secure as a proof of work system, which means that if someone in the case that can get hold and manipulate up to 50% and above of the computing network's power, that person will have the chance of manipulating. And rumor has it that, a lot of the hashing power or computing power is found within China. And one may argue that if all this were to be, manipulated under the control of one person, then technically you can expect a 51% hacking to occur if this person were to employ his resources in that such a way. All right. So uh, essentially today, that's the purpose of our short episode, to share with you the essence of the what is a blockchain, the security of blockchain, okay, the privacy of a blockchain, and how it all ties in with the beginning of this entire cryptosphere. So I hope you find today's information useful and beneficial and direct. Okay, please, if you like this video, please click like. Okay, subscribe to our channel. Okay, comment on what you like to hear in our next video, and please share our video and make sure to on your notifications so that when the next video pops out, you will be first notified. And this is the International Crypto Asset Ninja signing off. Till the next time we meet. Sayonara.